We are going to have a blast of a time. Let's talk about the new layer 2 from the guys at Blur. Let's get straight to it. Welcome back to another video. Yeah, crypto Twitter's going crazy about this. Blast is the new layer 2 chain that is built on Ethereum, and everyone is depositing to it right now. Why are they doing that? We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about a little bit about the mechanics as well and how it works. So let's not waste any time. So Blast is a layer 2 Ethereum chain with native yield, and that is their kind of killer feature that they've got here. And they've incentivized it and gamified it a little bit with this airdrop and leaderboard and stuff like that. It is backed by some of the biggest people around in crypto, Paradigm, Standard Crypto, and some of the big CT accounts, CL, Degen Spartan, Andrew Kang, Santiago. So what actually is it? Well, I think the easiest way to kind of get an understanding of it is to look at this diagram. So this was created by the guys at ASXN. So essentially, it is a layer 2 chain that has native yield built into it. And the easiest way to understand this is by looking at kind of how a user deposits into the chain. Let's say if they had ETH or stables, they'd do so, it'd go into this main contract. And underneath this, what will happen is that ETH gets staked with Lido. So it's earning that underlying yield, that 3-4% APY. And the stables get converted into DAI, which goes into Maker with their DSR vaults. So that's earning, around that 5% mark with the treasury yield, essentially. So essentially what you've got here is you've got a chain that has Ethereum and stables that are kind of earning underlying yield. You could literally just leave your ETH on these chains, or you could leave your stables there. They will go up in value over time. Real world assets with the likes of Maker and the native ETH staking yield via Lido. And to be honest, one of the questions I had is this more bullish for Ethereum or is this more bullish for Maker and Lido? And I'm thinking it's the latter, really, just because of how much attention, but also how much deposits they are going to get. Now, one of the reasons why this is so good is because it generates so much revenue. If we just have a look at the Arbitrum bridge, and Taiki is the one that highlighted this, you can see that the Arbitrum contract has around 1.3 million ETH, which is equivalent to around $2.6 billion. If that ETH was staked, that would be 100 million in revenue every single year. So it just goes to show, like, some small changes at the contract level or at the smart contract level, at the main blockchain level, I should say, can actually result in creating some significant revenue. So that's what they're doing. One of the reasons why this is also so hyped is because there will be an airdrop and there will be a token and there's points and leaderboards and everything's gamified. So that always helps for sure. So currently, one thing to just be aware of, it isn't actually a bridge. It is just a multi-sig contract that you just deposit to. They will have to create further contracts in future for you to access your funds again. You're not actually able to withdraw your funds until February at the very least. So just please bear that in mind. So what you can do is you can actually deposit ETH, STETH, USDT, and USDC. The first thing that you need to do is you need to get an invite code. You can find these on Twitter. I'll try and find some and leave them in the comments, but I don't have any at the moment. So yeah, you enter your invite code, then you can kind of deposit ETH, STETH, USDT, or USDC, and what will happen is in the background, as I just showed you, it gets converted into DAI and STETH, so it's earning that native yield. Now you are earning yield that entire time, but like I said, you just won't be able to claim it. You won't be able to withdraw it back until February at the very least. Now, what's really interesting is if you have a look at some of the metrics, like the number of inflows is just ridiculous. Already over 300 million TVL. Like, I'm sure by the time you're watching, let me refresh it, 296 million TVL. I'm sure by the time you're watching is going to be above 300 million. And I'm sure we're going to be above 100,000 ETH bridged as well, which is absolutely ridiculous. Most of it seems to be in ETH at the moment, but still we are having a fair bit of DAI as well being bridged over. And USDC, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are at the moment. I mean, it's just TVL is up only, and it's pretty crazy to think that just by being the king of airdrops, and like this kind of these crazy tokenomics, you can kind of get a TVL bigger than most L2s around at the moment, which is just insane. You can't even actually do anything on Blast right now. Like I said, it is just a contract. It's not even built yet, but still, they're able to just generate this amount of TVL in like 2 days is just unreal. Zero X Ramen basically did some research and kind of did some calculations, essentially based on the current TVL, which of course is going up only. So this isn't going to be 100% accurate. But essentially, if let's say 5% of the total supply was airdropped, you know, it could be around a 40% APY on top of the base yields for ETH and DAI. ST ETH, I should say. And so, yeah, it could be potentially lucrative. However, I think if TVL continues to go up, then potentially, you know, your APY is going to be a lot lower. However, I think 1 bill FDV, I mean, if it's got 1 bill in TVL, it's definitely going to be worth more than 1 bill FDV. So we'll have to wait and see. I personally haven't deposited any just yet. First of all, I don't have much ETH to begin with. Secondly, I just kind of want to be fairly liquid at the moment. I don't want to kind of lock up anything for like 4 or 5 months just yet. I mean, if I were going to deposit, I'd probably just deposit a small amount just to kind of participate. But for the moment, I'm not. For the moment, I'm happy just to kind of watch and see how things go. But yeah, that's pretty much what Blast is. A layer 2 chain with native ETH, with native yields, I should say, earning from both ST ETH and from SDAI. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting to just see kind of some of the applications that kind of come from this, especially if they are able to integrate that kind of native yield at the smart contract level for these applications. That creates a whole new world of kind of opportunities there. And I think overall, my personal feeling is this is very bullish for Lido and this is very bullish for Maker. So yeah, just a quick video covering my thoughts about Blast, the new layer 2 chain. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Twitter, give it a like, drop a comment down below, and we'll be back with plenty more content in the near future.